So, welcome to today's meditation, which is going to be on another of the attitudes or pillars of mindfulness. So this week it's going to be on non-striving. So of course we try to put into practice all of the attitudes each time we're meditating, but we'll particularly focus on non-striving, which I will try to explain as well during the meditation. But as usual, I will start with, I'm not sure if it's a poem or a little writing from Rumi, the essential Rumi. So I invite you just to find a comfortable posture, perhaps gently closing the eyes if that feels comfortable. And to start with, just listen to this short piece by Rumi called Two Kinds of Intelligence. There are two kinds of intelligence. One acquired as a child in school memorises facts and concepts from books and from what the teacher says, collecting information from the traditional sciences as well as from the new sciences. With such intelligence you rise in the world, you get ranked ahead or behind others in regard to your competence in retaining information. You stroll with this intelligence in and out of fields or knowledge, getting always more marks on your preserving tablets. There is another kind of tablet, one already completed and preserved inside you, a spring overflowing its springbox, a freshness in the centre of the chest. This other intelligence does not turn yellow or stagnate. It is fluid and it doesn't move from outside to inside through the conduits of plumbing learning. This second knowing is a fountainhead from within you, moving out. So just settling into our chosen posture. Adjusting if necessary in order to be comfortable for the next 25 minutes or so. And knowing we can always move and change posture if we need to. Bringing an attitude of non-striving into our choice of posture. What does that mean? Perhaps striving would be to choose a posture that you've seen someone else do, that you've read is a good posture for meditation, such as trying to sit in a lotus position on the floor. And if you're very flexible, that might be perfect for you. But many of us might have to strive very hard to sit in such a posture for more than a few seconds. The idea of mindfulness is to be mindful of the present moment, of our body, of our mind, but also to be comfortable and mindful of our needs, of our capabilities, and have compassion and kindness for ourselves. So I invite you to try to remember every so often during the meditation this attitude of non-striving, of not trying to be anything that we are not already, of accepting who we are and where we are right now, today, in this particular moment. And not trying to get anywhere. I invite you to start by grounding yourself, feeling your feet, if they're touching the floor, the sensation of contact. Perhaps the feeling of the ground. Letting go into that sensation of groundedness. And feeling any other parts of the body that are supported from beneath. Perhaps the thighs, the bottom, and if you're lying down, the back, the shoulders, the head, the arms. Feeling the contact with the support beneath us. And seeing if we can let go a little more with each out breath, but without striving to let go. Striving is the opposite of letting go. Letting go is a natural process which may or may not happen. We can't force it. We don't judge. If we notice part of our body is constricted, contracted, see if it's possible to just accept, send loving kindness into that part of our body. Just sensing our entire body, from the feet to the head. Supported from beneath. And perhaps also noticing our breathing. In whichever place it feels most prominent, perhaps the chest, perhaps the belly, perhaps at the nostrils. Not striving to breathe in a different way than what comes naturally. Mindfulness is not a breathing exercise. We're not required to modify our breathing in any way at all. Just to carry on breathing normally and naturally, but perhaps just observe. Focus our attention watching the in-breath, watching the out-breath. Nothing to achieve. Just being present, but in a light, non-striving way. Notice perhaps if there is a sense of striving or of forcing in any way inside you. Observe that without judgment, with compassion. And perhaps just by gently observing and shining the light of our consciousness upon this habit that we have of striving, perhaps we might find ourselves loosening the reins a little, relaxing, and even letting go. Or perhaps not, and that's fine. Noticing our breath and noticing our body. And perhaps noticing any thoughts that come up. Observing them briefly and then letting them go again. Not holding on to any one thought for very long. And if our mind wanders off entirely and forgets we're meditating, kindly, without judgment, when we do realise that, just bringing our mind back over and over again, if necessary, to focus on our breathing, on the sensation of our body, our bodily sensations in the present moment. And perhaps noticing the movements of our mind, without attaching to any particular thought or emotion. Noticing perhaps in the body if there is any sense of striving, any unnecessary tension in an attempt to have a good meditation posture. Perhaps the shoulders a little higher than they really would like to be. Perhaps a clenching of the fists or of the toes. Perhaps a clenching of the jaw. There's nothing to achieve, no need to strive. No one's judging us. We won't get a grade or top marks for having done a good meditation. So many of us learnt in our childhoods to strive to impress our parents, our peers, our teachers. That's all finished now. We can be ourselves. And perhaps we can say to our inner critic, thank you very much for trying to protect me all these years by telling me I needed to improve myself. Thank you for all your hard work and advice. I love you, but I don't need your help anymore. I've decided to accept myself for who I am and accept where I am on my path. To give up the need to strive to get ahead or to be someone different. To be who I am and to love who I am. As Rumi said, knowing that the true fountain of knowledge, fountain of wisdom, of love and goodness comes from within my own heart and is not something to be sought outside of myself. By letting go, I allow it to reveal itself. I can't find it by striving. It's when I stop looking that it appears. So I'll read again the text by Rumi. 2 kinds of intelligence. There are 2 kinds of intelligence. One acquired as a child in school memorises facts and concepts from books and from what the teacher says, collecting information from the traditional sciences as well as from the new sciences. With such intelligence you rise in the world, you get ranked ahead or behind others in regard to your competence in retaining information. You stroll with this intelligence in and out of fields of knowledge, getting always more marks on your preserving tablets. There is another kind of tablet, one already completed and preserved inside you, a spring overflowing its spring box, a freshness in the centre of the chest. This other intelligence does not turn yellow or stagnate. It is fluid, and it doesn't move from outside to inside through the conduits of plumbing learning. This second knowing is a fountainhead from within you, moving out. So now I invite you to come back into the sense of being grounded, feeling the ground beneath our feet and the support beneath our thighs, buttocks, and perhaps the back, the shoulders, the head. Coming back into the present moment, our bodies, and perhaps noticing sounds in the room or outside. And listening to the sound of the Tibetan bowl as we gradually bring ourselves out of this meditation at our own rhythm.